Howdy folks, my name's Casey and I'm here to take you on a little adventure. So today we're at Fort Desoto, at the Fort Desoto boat ramp right now. And we were heading out to Shell Key, which Shell Key is just straight across here. It's a pretty short distance. So we're gonna get over there, figure out how this camping situation is, and then go from there. But big storms predicted this weekend too. There's a tropical storm coming up. It's got a name, Debbie or something like that. So we're gonna see if we can do this trip without getting stuck or caught in too bad of weather. And if we do get caught, then we're just gonna hang out and do another night. So, all right, let's get to it. So I can already hear the thunder rolling in these storm clouds behind us. So we're gonna shoot over here as quickly as we can before the wind gets here and the waves pick up. But right now it's pretty nice. Yeah, no complaints with this. But the reason for my hustle was the storm that's coming across. And we got a little cormorant checking us out. He landed in front of me earlier and then swam under. So I think he just likes the shade of the boat. But, oh, we got a fish, nice. Dang, swallowed that thing whole. Well done, bird. So maybe it's the little fish that like the boat, and they're coming into the shade. Dang, another one? Eat it up, fatty. That's a full belly, holy cow. You can see the rain starting to fall behind us. So we better push on. Shore's not too far, shore's just like a quarter of a mile. We've got to go around this island and then up to that island. So, all right, let's get over there. My gosh, so I'm going across these flats right here, and there are so many blue crabs. I don't really have a pot to cook them in. I do have a license. The storms don't look too bad out there. The wind's coming from that direction, so we might get something, but not too worried about it. Welcome to Shell Key Preserve. All the good important stuff. It's sea turtle season, so no campfires. They got their eggs buried beneath their feet. That looks absolutely gorgeous right there, even with the rain clouds in the backdrop. If I come around here and show you the water's edge, it looks like something out of a movie or a postcard. It's right here. So awesome. Beautiful colors. Yeah, that's part of Fort Desoto right here. That land that's right there. So in worst case, we can paddle across to there and get on land that's connected to. I just found a kayak anchor in its bag. It was buried in the seaweed here. So it must have fallen off. This thing's brand new. It's so new that it's never been opened. It still has the little plastic ties keeping it shut. So, all right. Well, thank you, island. We're on the interior of the point, just looking to see where a good campsite is. And I'm going to use the cot and tent this time. And I'm also going to use the tarp and have a secondary roof. So I need a place where I can tie the tarp over. You can see the water, it's right over there. Down in here, I think, is where I'm gonna make the campsite. We have trees to tie off of here. There's a lot of trash back in here. I'll clean that up just because, make it better than we found it. But it's a pretty good front yard right there for a couple days. Can handle that. Now I'll be able to bring the kayak up to right here. All right, so that's the plan. We're really starting to get the cool winds coming in from these clouds right here. But it feels great, man. That cool wind blowing across. I'm gonna wait to set up until after this storm passes though, because I don't want to do that in the rain. Here's a sea turtle nesting area. It's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. And then this one in particular has been adopted by the Colby family. They put the metal grate over there. That's probably to keep critters from digging them out. So, pretty cool. But right here, there's a nesting area right there. Another nesting area right there. Another nesting area right over there. That's pretty neat. It'd be cool to see all the sea turtles come up and do that.
I believe these are sandlarings, not to be confused with langoliers.
So I just hung the ridge line going across, and now I'm going to just do a fast forward of me setting the camp up. So I have a pretty good idea of how I want to do the roof, and then we'll do the cot underneath it with the tent on top. So should work out pretty good. Let's do it. All right, so we got the tarp up, so we have a nice roof over us. Now I'm gonna set up the cot underneath and then the tent on top. And then the tent I'll just be able to take off of the cot and set it back on top of it. So, all right, so setting up this cot, the jet skiers are running past the inlet. So the legs for the cot, really simple. They're just spring loaded. And then this is the hinge point for cranking the tension on it. And it's OD green, so it looks like the cool old Army ones, but it's much easier to set up. Those old Army ones were a real pain if you've ever done one. All right. Put the legs in. I like to start with the center one. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but it's the way I do it, and it seems to work pretty good instead of going down the line. Just seems like it's the hard one. Okay, so the cot we have centered underneath the overhang, and that's looking pretty good, so we just got to set up the tent. Yeah, if it wasn't August in Florida, where the temperature, the real feel is like in the 110 or 115, something crazy, you know, I wouldn't have to do that, but this setup is going to be really nice. So as you can see, we get a lot of ventilation there on the top, and then also on the bottom underneath the cot. So where a standard tent, you know, on the ground with the rain fly on it is absolutely miserable, you know, this will actually be kind of cool. So, all right, well, I got camp set up right here, and it is just after 4. So I don't really want to kayak right now. I kind of want to go for a walk. I want to get cooled off by the water, so go take a little stroll around Shell Key in knee-deep water. Oh yeah, this water feels so nice. It's so calm right now too. The big storm that came through and gave us nature's air conditioning breezed right past us over like Fort Desoto. It didn't make it over to this island, so that's pretty nice. We got the cool air, but not the rain. Look at that, that's pretty. Really nice colors on that. So we've been walking for half an hour or so. Haven't gotten very far. There's Egmont Key again, which you saw earlier. And then coming out, looking at the beautiful Gulf, there's a sandbar, which a bunch of boats have done a meetup on. And then this is St. Pete and Clearwater right here. And I don't know if you can see it, but right in front of my finger is the Pink Hotel. That's the Don Cesar. It's a pretty famous, very expensive hotel. But listening to the thunder roll again off of this storm, I'm just going to keep on walking away from camp though, because I made it this far, and if it rains on us, that's okay. I don't mind getting a little wet. This is pretty neat. Made it to like just a sandbar between the islands. I think this is about where I'm going to turn around. Come a long ways, but I will see what's over the sandbar. You can see this, all the shells that have holes in them are hung up into the trees. That's pretty neat. Almost like Christmas decorations. Florida style. Well, it looks like where that point is rounded right there, it's where I was able to get to before, but yeah, not 100% on that. But again, I can't go that way. It's too deep. So I'll take the long way around again.
This little guy's path in life looks harder than mine. Stay strong, little guy.
Check out this storm. It's got a lot of thunder rolling in it. Oh yeah, you see that lightning come down? But we still got maybe a quarter-mile hike to get to the camp, just around this point here. But, well, some more lightnings. But that's heading our way. Feel like I should just have the camera rolling on that. The lightning coming down is seems intense until I turn the camera on, and then there is not. But there's one. But the rain is probably at Fort Desoto, like where we launched from. So distance-wise, not far from camp where that rain is. So there's another lightning bolt. But I think we can get there and then get at least sheltered up. Might have to button it down a little bit more. But a little excitement.
I think this is a small horse conch, which is the state shell for Florida, but I'm not really sure. But it did look really weird the way its little head was sticking out like that. First, I thought it was a tail.
All right, well, I'm ready to get back to camp, get something to eat. I'm a little hungry. Not sure what I'm gonna make, but I'm not like hungry, so I don't want a big heavy meal, but maybe just some top ramen or something. All right, well, I just checked weather, and it's calling for rains tomorrow after about 12. So by 1 in the afternoon, it'll be raining. So I think what I might do, and then it's just going to rain continuously. So I think what I'm gonna do is wake up early, pack everything up, and go over to Egmont Key. But I think what we might end up doing is coming back to the car tomorrow afternoon. So I just don't know. The storm just seems like it's getting closer and closer, and we're gonna get pinned down in it. So I'm not really sure how I want to play it out yet, but I'll think about it. Right now I'm just tired. I'm wore out. You know, my body's sore. So like I'm thinking, man, going home sure does sound nice. You know, before all the rain comes down and you know it's just miserable. But I know that also creates some good footage too when it's storming. But I don't know. It's just going to storm and storm and storm, and that doesn't sound all that pleasant. So, but for dinner, let's see. I'm going to just empty all this out here. But I am feeling like ramen, and I think I'm going to do ramen and then take some little Viennas and put that in there. I think that sounds good. So. You hear that thunder? But yeah, right now on the radar, it's got storms to the north of us and to the east of us, and we're hearing the thunder from the ones to the north of us right now. But supposedly we're gonna do okay.
I have to voice over this part, unfortunately. I couldn't hear myself talk, even with the volume cranked on it. But I was just saying about how beautiful of a place that was to eat dinner and about how lucky I was. I really do feel blessed when I'm able to be put in a situation like that. And then I also talk about how delicious the Vienna sausages and the ramen are, or something like that. But yeah, it wasn't really that good. But you know, when you're in that moment, as long as it's not horrible, it tastes pretty good. So
All right, we're going to fly the drone. I almost forgot that I had this thing. Pretty simple to get going. There it's up. It's recording.
right here, as we're rising up, we're facing towards Fort Desoto, and that's the end of it right there. You can see right here is where we're going to spend a lot of time tomorrow when I paddle around the interior of Fort DeSoto. So everything that you can see there on that shoreline, I will be within about 100 feet of right there, out to the Skyway. This is looking at Shell Key, the island that I'm on. That white sand on the left of the screen and across the top is where I walked all the way up to. You can kind of see that break. That was just off screen now. I'll pan back over there, I'm sure. Now a different view of it, but that whole L exterior is what I walked. And it was pretty far, but it was a nice walk. I like long strolls on the beach, you know, as they say. But that bay that's in the center of the screen between the two islands has a ton of blue crabs in there. So if you're wanting to find a good spot for blue crabs, I saw dozens of them crawling around in there. So just bring a dip net and wade out there and grab them. This shot right here, I really liked just cruising along. I was practicing learning how to fly the drone. I'm getting a little better. And here I am landing the drone successfully again. I've yet to break a blade. I'm pretty lucky with that, I guess.
Oh man, it's gonna be a beautiful sunset. I wish I could have you guys feel how good it feels here right now. The temperature is just perfect. The humidity is surprisingly low, even though we have all the storm clouds over here. But yeah, the air temperature feels great. The sky is just gorgeous. I mean, this is a great night. It really is. Oh, one funny thing, I was getting the camera to come check out this sunset, and I went to grab my flashlight, and I don't have one. So I must have left it in the car or something. I don't know. Oh, you won't be able to see it. There's a thing floating across the sky over there. Looks too big to be a balloon, but it's whatever it is, it's just floating across in the wind. Man, that's awesome.
With this shot, I had to slow the footage down because the ripples were going so fast it looked fake. It actually kind of looks fake here too, but looks a lot better than it did before. But the camera's sitting like a half inch above the water line right here.
Well, as the sun sets, that's the end of our day. So I'm going to hike back to the campsite and get cozy, and I'm probably going to pass out pretty quick. It was a short paddle, but I hiked for a lot of miles with my feet in the water, so my legs are tired. So I'm ready to curl up and go to bed and see what tomorrow brings. But I'll wake up and I'll check weather and see what we're going to do. Oh, this cloud looks really cool. It's so much bigger in real life. The camera has everything thrown back so far, but it's pretty cool with the colors coming down. It almost look like a teapot or a coffee cup, you know, like the handle. Well, it wouldn't be a night camping if there wasn't minor issues. There's something, I'm guessing it's like a mouse or something scurrying around out there. It's little, like tiny, but I think it wants my food. It's hanging up in a tree, but I did leave my pot out there. I rinsed it, but maybe it still smells like something. But so that woke me up, but then I realized I'm sweating, like it's really hot and muggy right now. So it was nice earlier, but yeah, there's no wind anymore. It's just died out completely. So I'm not getting the heat vented out of here. So, oh well, I'll try and go back to bed. Good night. Good morning. Oh, looks like a beautiful day. Oh, let me show you what we got going. Oh yeah, a little bit of sunrise happening over there. It was a hot, muggy night. Holy cow. I'm glad I had my setup like I did. If I had it any different, there's no way I would have gotten any sleep. But good news is there was no animals. So I didn't have to worry about raccoons or hogs or alligators or any of that stuff. Just nice, peaceful night. So, all right, I'm gonna get up, eat some breakfast, tear this down, and see if we can get over to Egmont Key. Well, my breakfast is cooking. I have my coffee right here. Looking at the conditions, and they're not bad. I mean, they're really not. But this is as good as they're gonna be today. Oh, a little seagull. So I'm not sure if I want to risk it and go out in the Gulf, or if I should just paddle around here. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just go across the way and check out that side of Fort Desoto. I mean, I could go to Egmont Key, but my concern is that I honestly feel I can get there no problem right now. But the rains are coming at noon, and I don't know when the winds and the weather's going to pick up. So I just feel like I could get trapped over there, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm gonna drink my coffee, eat my breakfast, and then see where we're at. But I don't think we're going to Egmont Key.
As I drink my coffee, I decide to walk along the beach and walk all the way down to the end, just to kind of check out the Gulf side and see what's happening out there. What I found was that it was pretty rough out there. And despite my adventure side of my brain saying go for it, the safety side won with a better argument.
Now the winds only just started gusting briefly, and the waves went from being relatively calm out here to being turned up enough to even having whitecaps out there. So I'm just a little curious on how quickly this can get nasty, but judging by this, it happens pretty fast. And it calms down fast too. All right, I know what to do. All right, so no Egmont Key. We'll do that on another trip when there's not a tropical storm coming. But what we will do is we'll shoot straight across onto Fort Desoto, and we'll run that shoreline because it's an east wind and it's all coming this way. So if we get over there and just run that shoreline all the way down and then back up to the parking lot, you know, it's several miles to do that. That should be a good run. So yeah, that's the plan now. All right, goodbye beach. And because the waves pick up sporadically, I am wearing the skirt just to try and stay a little more dry. And definitely not going to try any rollover egress training out in here. But if it happens, it happens, you know. But, yep, let's get going. So this is the channel right here. There's no boats coming on either side, so we should be good. But they come ripping through at a pretty high rate of speed. It is pretty neat to be sitting, you know, this close to the water. Like my elbows, I can almost stick them in the water. And we get into that waves and it gets rolly, and they are splashing up onto the skirt, so I am glad that I got that on. But we made it through them, and right now they're much smaller, but there are still some white caps, you know, just to our left. But it's it's cool to be able to just bob out here, you know, and be super safe. Pretty cool. But you can see, like, we dip down below the wave line on some of these. But I think this is how, you know, you really build up the confidence, you know, to be in a situation where if you weren't in a boat, it would be dangerous, but in the boat, it's super safe.
The stability control on this camera is amazing, where it just holds tight on the horizon so you don't get that bobbing effect. But I think it does kind of take away a little bit of the roughness of the water here. Not that it was crazy rough or anything, but it was a little exciting. And yeah, it's not much, but I slowed the camera down just to show me dipping the nose under the water a little bit. This was a great place to experience some slightly choppy water because it was so close to shore. If there was any issues, you know, it could self-rescue pretty easy or even just swim over there. Oh, and hang on to your hats. Here's another nosedive. It looks cool though.
But yeah, if this is as good as the water conditions are gonna get, and like with this chop, it's just gonna get more severe. I think we're making the right call here. This little cove has a nice picnic area. And then there's a little bridge that looks like it goes back into the mangroves, but I can't tell if that goes far or if it's just there to be there, you know, something right on the edge to be cool. It does have a herring sitting on top of it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to go in there, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, there's restrooms. That's handy. Yeah, this little park has water spigots too. So if you were doing a long weekend at Shell Key and you ran out of water, I mean, this was only, you know, what, not even a half a mile away and there's water. So that's pretty nice too. This cool little private picnic area. It's pretty nice. Even comes with its own beach. Up ahead, there's what appears to be a naturally formed kind of cove into the mangroves. Can't tell how deep it goes, but it looks like at least the kayak length. Yeah. Stick our nose in there and see what's there. It was nice and cool in here. Good spot to take a break. There's a pretty deep cove right here. Yeah, swing in and check this out. I don't know how far back that goes or how deep it goes, but we will know that answer soon. There's a little sign up there too. See what that says. A nice safe place to be when a storm comes. I'll tuck back in here. So the little sign is a number 11, so this must be like a little kayak trail. Check out this whole thing. Well, I followed the trail all the way into this little cove. And at the end of the trail, marker 1, is a kayak rental place. So, pretty cool. Oh, coming out of the safety of that bay, forgot that it was even windy today. That slowed us way down, taking that headwind. And we were averaging about 4.5, now we're averaging about 3.5, which, you know, not a huge loss, but it's there. Found a nice little place to get out and stretch my legs by this pole. But the wind's definitely holding steady. It's a steady 10 at least. And it's just supposed to get stronger and stronger throughout the day. And then tomorrow we're supposed to be in around the 30s with that storm coming in. Ooh, a lot of grass. Alright, well I did hop out there and stretch my legs for just a minute, but there's a lot of like those sand fleas or sand flies that bite. So yeah, not that enjoyable out there on the beach. So I'm gonna push back out and keep cruising around the Fort Desoto Island. We are now at like the crux of it and getting ready to make that bend. So, oh, the osprey has a fish. Ah, a lot of wildlife over here. There's a dolphin heading this way. Let's see if it will surface near us or not. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, that one's got like a split fin. It must have got hit by a boat. A cormorant just popped up right there. Freaked me out. Oh, we got one. Good job, buddy. See if he's able to eat it or not. He's having a little trouble spinning it. Oh, he got it. He got it. It's such a big fish for a little bird. It's like stuck in his throat. Swallow it. There you go. Nope. There he goes. You got it. Nice work. Good job, buddy. So here we are at the actual crux of Fort Desoto, and there's a bridge with water on the other side. I'm not sure if that's just a little cove or if that's leads out into the Gulf. But right here is the big flagpole on Fort Desoto. When their flag's up, it's one of the biggest flags in Florida. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's one of the biggest. But it's down because the big storm's coming. But I'm gonna go under that bridge and see what's there. All right, going under this bridge, I see across the way there's another bridge, so we got some real exploring to do today. All right, well, about to cross under the second bridge, and I'm still not sure what's back in here. So we'll just keep pressing forward. Ah, it looks like we made it out into Tampa Bay, possibly. Oh yeah, as we round the tip of Fort Desoto, you can see how windy Tampa Bay is. There's the Skyway Bridge. Yeah, it's definitely windy out here. So I'm glad I didn't go to Egmont Key. But we did paddle a long ways. I mean, Maximo Beach is just right over there. All right, well, I'm not going to go back out that way because that's too rough. I don't like it. Just gonna get worse. We're gonna head back the long way. I think we got about 3 miles to get back to where we started from, roughly. No, 6 miles, sorry, 6 miles to get back where we started from. All right, well, fun day. These cormorants are loving the kayak though. Got that one out there and then one just dove underneath us. Oh, he's right there. Hey, bud. Pretty. All right, so I just parked the kayak to come out and see what's here. It's the very tip of Fort Desoto. You can see this is the roundabout in the road here. So I think what we'll do is we'll get in the kayak and we'll get back to the car. I do want to check out the fort if the weather's going to hold. Show the Skyway one more time. It's a really cool bridge. There's this island up here I'm officially naming Pelican Island because there's at least 50, maybe 100 pelicans nested up in it right now. So this is where they go when they're not hanging out at the fishing piers. You see them all in there? Hey, buddies. That's funny. You got to see these 3 cormorants that are fishing under me right now. They're so funny. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Nobody's gotten anything. Do it again. They have pretty eyes. So blue. Oh, hey there. I got one. Right under the boat. You have to eat some seaweed though. The campsites out here at Fort Desoto are really nice too. I don't know if they're all on the water, if there's some on the interior, but I've passed a lot like this where they're got a little seawall. Really cool. Well, we're getting the rains right on time. That's pretty good. They're predicting 12 and it's 10 to 12 right now. So I don't think this is gonna last very long though. It's kind of like a sun shower. But looks pretty cool. The rain hitting the water. So I'm debating on whether I want to go back to Shell Key and spend another night. Like I was going to call it a day. So I got decisions to make. Like I kind of want to stop and seek shelter, but I also kind of want to ride it out and see how crazy it can get, you know? So I don't know, we'll figure that out. I don't know if you get a chance to see them. There's 2 manatees, a large one and a small one. They're swimming right towards us right now. Wow. Yeah, it must be a mom and her baby. Yeah, the baby's going under the bow. Oh, she's turning. And the mama's just hanging out right there. Huh. I think what I'm going to do is just turn around and go back because I just don't want it to get worse, you know, and get pinned down here. So, but my plan was to go to Shell Key and hang out again, but yeah, it's just, the crossing is, it's not far, but it was just a little rough. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. But yeah, it's crazy because it's so calm over there, like on the other shore. I mean, it's like this. We're in the shallow water, so there's no waves over here. Yeah. Get turned around, and there are a lot of storms coming. I mean, they're over there. So let's just get back to safety. I'll show you what we're looking at. See, there's storms over there. Wind's coming from that direction pretty strong. And you'll see when we get into these waves, it's going to happen pretty quick. I mean, again, I'm not worried about like the size of the current waves. It's just what's going to happen, you know, or what could happen. And I'm just worried that I'm going to get out here and this sea state will just get super nasty and I'm going to get stuck for possibly days, you know. I don't know how long it takes for it to calm down. So All right, made it back to the dock, safe and sound. So right now it's pretty busy. Everyone coming and going. But I'm going to get this thing loaded up and then I'll go find something to eat and check out the fort. Well, we almost made it before the rain, but it's not too bad. But you can see they're getting it over there. But yeah, it's windy, but we're all tied up, nice and tight, ready to hit the road. Yeah, I'm glad I decided not to go to Egmont Key. It's just right over there, but yeah, these are the conditions that I was afraid I was going to get trapped in if I went, and I would have if I had gone over there, you know, should have ended up in this. But the wind is ripping. I'm trying to cover the mic, but it's crazy. But yeah, the waves are, you know, 4 foot. They're pretty good. Yeah, if you can see the trees just in that haze, that's Egmont Key right there. Yeah, that would have been a rough ride back. Well, here we are at the actual fort. So this is one of their guns, a 6-inch gun. Big old thing. Not much to the fort. It's not really upkept very well. I think it's kind of slowly deteriorating, but still cool to see. Need to find the information board to show when this thing was built. Yeah, all the placards that show what each thing was have been removed. No idea what was down here. Just ammo storage. These little cannons are pretty neat. Looks like they have been restored. Wow. There's no plaque for them, but they're monstrous. Springs under there. Crazy. Oh, it's rifled too. Wow. You see the rifling? Can you imagine the sound that would echo out of here when those things fire? Oh, that'd be crazy. So this is about the only sign that I can find. Fort Desoto batteries from 1898. And I did see another one that said that this was used in the Spanish-American War. But that's about it. All right, well, this will about wrap it up. I did stop in at the little store and I got me some chili cheese dogs that look pretty good and a drink. I'm gonna eat these up and then head home. So that wraps up this trip. I didn't do everything that I wanted to do, but I did have a really good time, and it's just reason to come back and hit Egmont Key at a later date. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.